Hello everyone, this is our video about our YouTube blog of living in Japan. We've been in Japan for like 3 weeks now, which is time goes by fast, which is actually kind of ironic because at some point it goes really slow and at some point it goes really fast. But let's see, it feels longer and then shorter. Okay, anyways, this is our video blog of our experiences in Japan. My name is Keendren, which is a very long name. The short version is Kalle. I'm from Denmark, and you might be wondering, how can he be black and be from Denmark? Well, that's quite possible nowadays, you know, but
Don't be racist.
don't be racist. No. But my parents are refugees from Sri Lanka, and then they fled during the civil war there. And I've been born and raised in Denmark, where I met Dennis, who is one of my good friends. And a little more about me: I'm 26 years old, have a master's degree in communications, and came to Japan for teaching English.
Right, and my name is Dennis. Please excuse my voice. I'm kind of sick, so I know I sound really horrible. And Kalle and I have been friends for a long time, since the 7th grade, where we met each other. And both of us graduated from Aalborg University with master's degrees, and since then decided to go to Japan. And to elaborate on that story, I guess I was, I guess I was kind of the brains behind that operation. Because after I graduated from university, I worked for a while, which was fun and great and everything. But I tried for a period of time to get a very specific job position, which unfortunately didn't work out. And so my plan all along had been, if that doesn't work out, I'm going to see more of the world. And Kalle and I did some research on YouTube. We watched a lot of video blogs, which I suppose kind of inspired this blog. And it seemed to me that most people who live in Japan or travel to Japan, they've had this long-standing romantic relationship with Japan in some way. Maybe they've watched animes and mangas for a number of years. Maybe they're interested in the language. Maybe they're interested in, whatever. But all of it is somehow related to Japan. And again, it seems to me that most of them have had this idea that they want to go to Japan for many, many years. And it was very different for me and for us, because from the moment I thought to myself, okay, I wonder what Japan is like, to I had my 2 feet placed in Narita Airport in Japan. 2 months had passed, so it things happened kind of really quickly. And after I had confirmed beyond any doubt that the position I had aimed for, was unavailable, the day after I started applying for jobs, the day after that I had a job.
That's so crazy. That would never happen in Denmark.
It was really crazy. And I was kind of just randomly sending weird resumes to weird job postings, and I had no idea, which ones were insane and which ones were the normal jobs. But it happened really quickly, and it was funny because I talked to my parents when I had this idea of going to Japan, and I told them, oh hey, I've been thinking, if thing A doesn't work out, I'm gonna do thing B, which is fucking travel to the other end of the planet. Great idea, right? And at first they were like, oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'm sure it'll be fun, and if you should do it, you should do it now. A very parentsy thing to say, and I appreciate their support. And it was funny because about a week later, I called them again and I told them, oh hey, remember the Japan thing? I have a job now and I'm fucking going. And and suddenly, things got pretty serious, and my mother, who initially had been very supportive, she started crying, and it was pretty funny.
It's actually quite funny because yesterday I was talking with one of my friends on Skype, and she was like, oh, it's so funny, because it felt like yesterday you told me that you were thinking of going to Japan, and now you are in Japan. I still can't imagine it. So it went really fast, huh?
It's crazy, yeah. And I think, at least for my part, but I think for maybe both of us, we kind of felt that we had plateaued or kind of stagnated in Denmark, and we needed a change of scenery. I think it's the best way of putting it. And I was very jealous of my friends, my many good friends who were able to get jobs and thoroughly enjoy those jobs and be really happy about where they were. Because I tried, I had a great job for a number of months, but I don't know, I just felt weird and like it was too early to have this regular 9 to 5 in Denmark and just do your job and go home and eat dinner and mind your hobbies. And it's a great thing to do, but it just felt too early, and I wanted to see more of the world and do more shit and get more experiences. And I remember I told Kalle in some weird way that, you know, Denmark is a wonderful country. I love Denmark, but when you're from Scandinavia, and certainly if you haven't traveled a lot, you're kind of sheltered. And I remember telling him that I wanted to experience racism. Like, I thought this was a hilarious thing, you know, like racism. That's fucking funny. Because, you know, I'm a Scandinavian white guy. Who would be racist towards me, right? But I heard, like, from very few sources, thankfully, that some Japanese people could be kind of racist. Not many, thankfully, and even if they don't like you, Japanese people are not going to tell you. But apparently, supposedly, some old people can be kind of like, hesitant when it comes to foreigners.
Yeah, and like, as the black dude, I was like thinking, that's such a white dude thing to say. I mean, what the fuck?
What a white problem.
Yeah, I want to experience racism.
It's life experience right there, you know. People chasing you with a pitchfork. It's wonderful.
Doesn't like you at all, looks at you funny, and you think, what the hell? Is it just because I'm white? Yeah, I've had that. Okay, well, to supplement on Dennis' story, like, Dennis has a master's in English, and I had studied communications. I finished a year before Dennis, and then for 2 years I worked at the university, also trying to pursue a PhD, which didn't go that well. And then as a little side project, I was also a candidate for the parliamentary election in Denmark, where, you know, I wanted to fight racism, and, you know, it's Denmark, so I lost terribly. So I took the hint and went to Japan.
Yeah.
No. So when you have a master's degree in communications, the job possibilities are very broad, and I was like thinking, okay, what to do now? Because I could stay at the university and continue teaching for a year or two, but I knew it, like, in the current situation, the chances of getting a PhD was really, really low, and I didn't want to waste my time there and move on. So I was like thinking what to do, and then Dennis told me about his plan to go to Asia if that job didn't go, if he didn't get that job. And I was like, sounds kind of nice. And then I said, okay, Dennis, do you mind if I join you? And he was like, why the fuck do you want to join me? And I was like, well, I want to go and experience the world too. And he was like, oh, okay. And then, then we applied for jobs and got here. I think that in many ways, like Dennis said, I felt like kind of, it was like a way of postponing my decision on what to do next. Like, now I want to experience the world, and then when I get home, we'll see what the next thing is in Japan. And it's quite ironic, you know. We fled Denmark because we didn't want to work and be adults or anything, and now we come to Japan and we've done nothing else but work.
We've been fucked. All we do is work.
All we do is work.
And we're not even making any money.
And we're not, like, the pay here is so low compared to what we will get in Denmark, so it's just so stupid.
Yeah, we kind of fucked ourselves. We're stupid.
Yeah.
I guess we should, by the way, specify that right now we are in Utsunomiya in Japan, which is about an hour and a half in train north of Tokyo.
Yes.
And according to many people I've talked to, many of whom are Japanese, Utsunomiya is really boring.
Yeah.
But you know, it was the first place we got a job, and the job offered a visa sponsorship and a place to live, and so all we had to do was really show up, which for us who wanted to travel to Japan as fast as possible was more or less the best case scenario.
Yeah.
And Kalle and I have had shitty jobs in the past, so we didn't really mind where we ended up or what kind of job we got. And based on the research we did, we knew that there was a big difference between the different English schools, and we quickly learned that the best jobs were the public ones. But the recruitment process for the public ones is horrendous. I quickly learned that it would take about 7 months, and even after all that time, like, you wouldn't be, you know, guaranteed a job or anything. And since we just wanted to go immediately, we just took whatever we could get, and so we arrived here on January 7th,
Yes.
2016, right after New Year's.
Yeah, and we are recording this at January 27th, so approximately 3 weeks. And I was thinking of something to mention, but now I forgot it. Oh yeah, another thing, that we come from Denmark. Well, people in Denmark are really good at English because all the movies and so on, they don't dub movies or TV shows in Denmark. They are in English. So we get exposed to the English language a lot. But a lot of these public jobs, they focus a lot of you being a native English speaker. And even though we speak English fluently, we are not native speakers because we come from Denmark. So that's also like a wall we are meeting.
Yeah, it seems to be all about the accent. Like if you have that desired British or American accent, the Japanese, because they don't really know anything, assume that you are, a god-sent superhero, even if you are a redneck bum who doesn't really know anything.
Smokes weed all day.
Yeah, and that's fine. If you don't know anything about English, anyone would probably assume that a native speaker is gonna be instantly better than anyone else. But I feel like the Japanese society as a whole, when it comes to recruiting English teachers, are excluding a lot of people, a lot of very qualified people, because they see, that dumbass doesn't have a passport from America, so we're not gonna give him a job.
Yeah, so that's kind of a wall we're meeting, and it's ironic, because you have a master's degree in English, and I've taught at English educations at the university and so on. So yeah, that's just kind of like those stupid things we see.
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
Yeah. Well, I guess like the purpose of this video blog is like we want to show you our life in Japan. There are a lot of video blogs out there. As mentioned before, we've only been here for 3 weeks, so this is not going to be like, okay, remember this and this when you come to Japan, because we don't know it yet. So you're going to like get more an impression of our experiences here and get a first-hand knowledge of things we find weird and things we like say, what the fuck is happening here? That's why we created this blog, and we will always be two in this blog. So I guess that's kind of the purpose of it.
Yeah, follow our hopefully authentic Japan experiences, and we just in a hopefully different way share what it's like to kind of just travel to Japan and see what fucking happens.
Yeah, and the work and travel and so on. So yeah, please follow us, and if you have any questions, just ask.